This is another comic book store I used to come to. This one's a little bit more famous because they've kind of got they're known around here a little bit more than Dragon's Lair because they do a couple of shows, they sponsor a couple of good shows locally. But they came much later. They started out in Bellevue where my parents live, where I lived, I think in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, and they had a store up right next to the base gate. And then that didn't work, and then they moved, and then they moved, and then they moved here. It's a decent store, very comic-oriented, at least it was. I haven't been here for a while, because I don't think I got to this one last time. So we're going to go take a look at this one, because I used to come here through college occasionally when I came down to see my parents. But they had some really good deals on like posters and artwork back then. But I think, based on the shows that they sponsor now, or that they're involved in, I think they, again, like Dragon's Lair, have become very game-oriented, where Dragon's Lair used to be very comic-oriented. Now they're both very game and comic-oriented, and I think this one's probably more game-oriented. So let's go take a look. That's not bad. Become very good. Become very comic-oriented. Wow. To have that. I remember when they were working on that forever and ever and ever. Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty much the same. It's very similar. They definitely become much more comic oriented than they used to be. Pretty good. Good comic book store. Good backstock. Oh yeah, I got the over here. They always had the old Star Wars figures for sale and old stuff like that. Very close to how it used to be. Good gaming spaces too. Nice. Nice. Back gaming area. So that wasn't bad. It looks the same inside, but it's definitely more game oriented than it used to be. And they've lost some of their space. Like I said, that used to be, that bay used to be theirs, and it connected to their store over there. So their door there, and they had more room over to here. And then they've got it all, both bays went all the way back, and they had gaming on this side to play at, and now they've got it kind of throughout the store, and then they got a big game area in the back. It's a little different. It's a lot more cluttered than it used to be, but again, it's been 20 years. But it's still going. I mean, it's not bad. It's okay. It's just, before they were very meticulous about how they organized everything, and now it's kind of just haphazard. What do you think?
Yeah, but it's still pretty clean. The aisles are clear, and they're still selling like a lot of food up in the front, which means they're still having like lots of tournaments and gameplay there in the store. Yeah,
they definitely have stuff going on because they got a lot of game tables that they can use, but it's not exactly the same. Like I said, I think my understanding is they sponsor some local events for like 40K and some other things. So I mean, that's good, and I think They used to have 3 of these stores, and this was the main one. I think they may still have a second one somewhere, but I don't know that for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's still a good store, it looks like. I would still recommend coming here. They got some pretty good prices and some stuff. They don't have any used games or anything. They got a lot of comics. But the prices they have aren't overinflated, and they got some stuff that's hard to find if you're coming from a coast, the east or west coast. Both the stores, Dragon's Lair and here, have stuff that you won't be able to find. From my own experience, you will not find it on the either coast or on eBay. They just have stuff that doesn't move really fast here when it comes out, but it moves fast on the coast. So, yeah. So, if you're looking for that special item, call to a game store in the Midwest. Odds are you'll be able to get it here, or in Kansas City, or somewhere in the Midwest, because they get it, and it doesn't move very fast for whatever reason. But anyway, that's the right off Highway 75. So, yeah, those were 2 stores that I used to go to all the time. Like I said, Dragon's Lair was my first store. This one was about 10 years later. I think 10, maybe 11 years after this one popped up. So, anyway, there's your 2 game stores, 2 for 2 in Bellevue and Omaha, Nebraska. Over the 2, Mama. Oh, between the 2, which ones would you recommend to someone?
I think for the uber geek, the uber nerd, probably Dragon's Lair. It's just such a classic store. That they know everything because they've been there since D&D came out. So
since the 70s, right? These guys have been around. I mean, they obviously know their stuff, and they do a lot of sponsors, like I said. But I don't know. If I had to pick between the 2, it'd be Dragon's Lair. But this one would be a close second, just because it's really close to where I used to be and where my parents are and where the base is and all that.
Yeah, this is a good store.